Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da 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 da.
Yo, good morning, people. We'd like to welcome everybody back to the Keep It a C-Note podcast. I am your boy Brown, here with you on this early morning for the Week 8 recap. Interesting Week 8. You see, I got my tea this morning. No coffee. I got tea. How was your Week 8? My Week 8 was great. Let's start it off in ATL. We had Carolina. They went to ATL. They took care of business 19-13. Darnold, 129. He did get knocked out the game. We had a Hubbard site, and he had 82 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore, 459 yards. Matty Ice, 146, touchdown, 2 interceptions. Sheesh. We had a Ty J. Sharp sighting, people. He had 5 for 58. Cordell Patterson had 5 for 37 and a touchdown. And Mr. Kyle Pitts, 2 for 13 yards. Yikes. Atlanta is now 3-4, people. Carolina 4-4. Calvin Ridley, he was a late scratch. I guess his mental health issues. I don't really know what it is. But yikes, that's just a scary sight over there. Play behind Julio all them years, and then it's finally your team. Before all of this, a bunch of drops. Sheesh, it's just harsh right now. And then Kyle Pitts does nothing in the step up. So, ATL 3-4 again. Next up, Miami. They went to Buffalo. They kind of held on for a little bit, but in the end, Josh Allen and them pulled away with the 26-11 victory. Josh Allen, 249, 2 touchdowns, 55 rush yards, and he ran one in at the end. Cole Beasley sighting, people, 10 for 110. Stephon Diggs had 5 for 40 and a touchdown. Gabriel Davis, 4 for 29 and a touchdown. Ain't got too much stats on Miami. They played horrible. Tua, 205 and a pick. Devontae Parker did have 8 for 85. They did nothing on the ground. They are now 1-7, people. Buffalo is 5-2. What's your thoughts on Buffalo? Let us know. San Fran. They went to Chicago. They took care of business. Jimmy G and the boys, 33-22 victory. Jimmy G, 322, and he ran for 2 touchdowns. Yikes, I thought that was Trey Lance in the game. We had Elijah Mitchell sighting, people. Elijah Mitchell, if you picked him up in fantasy football, he had 137 and a touchdown. Shout out Deebo Samuels, 6 for 171. You really putting up numbers, boy. Only if you had a better quarterback, you might make it top 5, top 7. You never know. But hats off to you, Deebo Samuels. You definitely been balling out this year. Justin Fields, 175, touchdown and an interception. He ran for $103. Crazy juke touchdown. It made a lot of highlight reels. You might want to check it out. It's in our Insta story as well. Khalil Herbert, he had 72 yards on the ground. And we had Darnell Mooney, 6 for 64. Chicago is now 3-5. San Fran is at 3-4. Next up, this was a horrible looking game. Like, I watched some of it, and this game was so boring. Pittsburgh, they went to Cleveland. They got the 15-10 victory. Big Ben, 266, and he threw for a touchdown. Najee Harris, 91 yards and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 6 for 98 yards. Pittsburgh is 4-3. Cleveland, they dropped to 4-4. Baker Mayfield, 225. Nick Chubb, in his game back, he had 61 yards. Jarvis Landry, 5 for 65. 2 things that I noticed real quick about the Cleveland game. Baker Mayfield is a tough kid. That's for sure. He's a tough kid. He got heart. So that's for sure. And I keep hating to beat on a dead horse, but the other thing that I noticed, once again, like I continue to tell you people, Odell Beckham Jr. is done. Stick a fork in him. He's not who he was before. I always thought he was overhyped. A lot of people say he was no cap. But now we're seeing that Odell Beckham Jr. is really done. And there's nothing worse than a star that's done that don't know they're done. And I blame the fans mostly because you guys keep putting him up there, those top 5 lists, top 10 lists for the last, I don't know how many years, same way you do Saquon Barkley. And Odell doesn't produce like that. He hasn't produced since he had that year when he had the magnificent catch. Those are just my thoughts, though. Next up, we had Philly. They went to Detroit, and they beat the brakes off them boys, 44-6. Jalen Hurts, he only threw for $103. I'm not understanding that. He ran for 71 yards. We had a Boston Scott sighting. 60 yards on the ground. Not one, but he had 2 touchdowns. This was like a throwback game, though, because we also had a Jordan Howard sighting people. 57 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Running people over. Okay, this looked like Chicago Jordan Howard. Dallas Goedert, 6 for 72 yards. The defense played great. I believe they sacked Goff 5 times. Jared Goff, 222. He did not turn the ball over, but he was sacked a lot. Swift, 27 on the ground. T.J. Hockenson, 10 for 89. And Jamari Jefferson, I believe it is, 2 rushes, 6 yards. The touchdown. Who? Man, you know what I said, man. Stop playing all that. Detroit is now 0-8, people. Wow. Philly 3-5. Philly, the defense looked real good today. I will say it was against Detroit. Your quarterback throwing for 103 yards, though. I mean, this is the NFL, people. You do need a quarterback that can throw the football. So, we got to get that together. Probably the game of the day. Tennessee, they went to Indianapolis, and they got the 34-31 victory in overtime. Field goal. And this was an interesting game because Tannehill threw for 265, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Derrick Henry did not get into the end zone. He only had 68 yards, but we had an A.J. Brown sighting. 10-155 in the touchdown. He was a monster. Nobody could check the guy, especially when the game was on the line. Carson Wentz, 236, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions as well. Jonathan Taylor, 70 yards and a touchdown. Michael Pittman Jr., he said, boss up, 10, 86, 2 touchdowns. Yikes. Great game, but at the end, Carson Wentz was Carson Wentz. When the game was on the line, he gave the football away. So, the Colts are now 3-5 people. Tennessee 6-2. They got a Sunday night game coming up against these boys right here. We'll get to that, though. Next up, the shocker of the day. The shocker, people. I got to sip my tea on this one. Cincinnati, they went to New York. And they lost. They lost to the Jets, 34-31. Really? You beat Baltimore and then you come out on some sucker stuff? Really? Shout out to Mike White of the Jets. Who? Mike White. Who? Come on, man. Stop playing Mike White. Mike White, 405, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I think they said he broke a record. First person to throw for 400-plus yards in a game or something like that. Whatever the record is. Him and Cam Newton. Wow. Michael Carter, 77 yards on the ground, and he had 9 catches for 95 yards. Ty Johnson, 5 catches, 71 yards, and the tiptoe touchdown where he did not, I repeat, he did not go out of bounds. The Jets are now 2-5, people. Burrow, 259, 3 touchdowns and a costly pick at the end of the game. Mixon had 33 yards, a touchdown, and he also had 4 for 58 and a touchdown. Tyler Boyd, 569 and a touchdown. Chase, I put you up there top 5 currently, and you didn't show up. I'm just saying, people. Cincinnati is now 5-3. Next up, got them boys. And yeah, we got the win. We moved to 7-1. The Rams, they was in Houston. 38-22. I'm okay with the win. I'm not okay with some of the shenanigans. I'll explain. Stafford, 305, 3 touchdowns. Darrell Henderson, 90 yards on the ground and a touchdown. He also caught a touchdown. Passed Cooper Kupp, 115 and a touchdown. And Robert Woods, 3 for 35 and a touchdown. Davis Mills, 310, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Rex Burkhead sighting. He had 21 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Brandon Cook, 683 and a touchdown. And Brevin Jordan. Who? Brevin Jordan. Who? Man, Brevin Jordan. Stop playing. That man had 3 for 41 and a touchdown. Here's my whole thing. Fourth quarter, 38-0. I understand sportsmanship, people. I understand you don't want to get your players hurt. But why in the NFL do they take their foot off the gas? These guys scored 22 points in minutes. It was a 38-0 game, and McVay subs everyone out. I mean, I get it. You dumb it down. You just try to run the clock out. How do you guys feel? To me, I feel more disrespected when you put your whole bench in because you blowing us out. I'd rather you just keep running the numbers up on me. Don't put your bench in on me. Like, you really make me look bad. You make me look even worse when you put your bench in. McVay, you got to relax with that. Run the score up. Belichick and them scored 54 points last week. Like, come on, man. They do it in college. You got to beat the brakes off of dudes. Y'all had 38 points. Y'all should have ran that score up. It should have been like 55-0. Y'all took y'all foot off the gas, and that's a no-no. Show the killer mentality. I'm just saying, McVay. Next up, New England. They was in SoFi Stadium playing our crosstown homies, the Chargers, and they came up with the 27-24 victory. Mac Jones, 218. Damian Harrison, 80 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 3 catches for 60 yards. Shout out Adrian Phillips with the pick 6 to put New England up. Herbert, 223, 2 touchdowns, and that pick 6 that lost them the game that I'm talking about. Eckler, 64 yards on the ground and a touchdown. He also caught 6 for 60. Keenan Allen, people, 677 and a touchdown. The Chargers are now 4-3. New England is 4-4. Watch out for Belichick, people. Next up, Jacksonville. The Jaguars. They went to Seattle and they got smoked 31-7. I watched some of this game. Geno Smith, he was running around a little bit looking like Russ Wilson. 195, 2 touchdowns. They really got nothing on the ground. Collins only gave him 44 yards, but we had a Lockett sight, and people, TJ Lockett, 12 for 142. Good golly, Miss Molly. And you had DK Metcalf, 6 for 43 and 2 touchdowns. 3-5. The Seattle Seahawks, I believe they're going on a bye and they get Russ back. Let's see what happens. Right now, they're in the basement of the NFC West. Jacksonville, they're in the basement of their division. They're now 1-6. Trevor Lawrence, 238, a touchdown and an interception. They did nothing on the ground. They did nothing in the air. But Dan Arnold, who? Man, Dan Arnold, don't start that, bro. He had 8 for 68. It's looking spooky. especially on Halloween. It looked very spooky for Jacksonville. I'm just saying. Next up, Washington. They went to Denver. Denver took care of business, finally getting a win and ending they skid. They won 17-10. Teddy, 213 and a touchdown. Melvin Gordon had 47 yards and a touchdown. Then he caught 3 catches for 15 yards and a touchdown. Tim Patrick, 3 for 64. Judy also came back. He was rocking. So, but remember Melvin Gordon, because I want to come back to him. Taylor Heineke, 270, touchdown, 2 interceptions. Jared Peterson. Who? Oh, pardon me. Jared Patterson, people. Still, who? Jared Patterson, man. He had 46 yards on the ground. Antonio Gibson, 34 yards on the ground. J.D. McKissick, 8 for 86. Scary Terry was a no-show. DeAndre Carter, 3 for 51 and a touchdown. Scary Terry was a no-show. Antonio Gibson. I don't know who's more MIA right now. Antonio Gibson or Schofish. They both MIA. Like, y'all got to get it together. That's real shit. Washington is 2-6. Denver is 4-4. Next up, who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Brady, Tampa Bay. They went to New Orleans. Took an L, 36-27. Jameis Winston threw for 56 and a touchdown before he tore something. ACL, MCL, something CL in it. Trevor Siemian, he came in the game. $159 and a touchdown. Traquan Smith, 3 for 33 and a touchdown. Kamara had 61 on the ground and a touchdown. Melvin Ingram was back. They was in a bag. New Orleans is 5-2. Brady and the boys, they fell to 6-2. 375, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Brady tried to bring them guys back, but he started off horrible. Godwin, 8, 140 and a touchdown. Mike Evans had 2 for 48 and a touchdown. To me, that game was a shocker. Not that New Orleans won, but how they jumped out on them. And then once Jameis Winston went down, because I ain't gonna lie, Jameis Winston, it looked like he came to play today. He was amped up. I think they were amped up. When he got hurt, I said it's over. And they still won. Sunday Night Football. I don't know about that game. That game was a little dry. I'm tired of staying up for these flex games, people, when they're not living up to the bill. Dallas, they was in Minnesota. They got the 20-16 victory with Cooper Rush. Who? Cooper Rush. Again, who? Cooper Rush was the starting quarterback, people. Dak Prescott was out with an injury. 325, 2 touchdowns and an interception, including the game winner to Amari Cooper, who had 8, 122 and a touchdown. Cedric Wilson, 3 for 84 and a touchdown. Zeke had 50 on the ground and 4 catches for 23 yards. Also, CeeDee Lamb, shout out to CeeDee Lamb, 6 for 112. Kirk Cousins, 184 and a touchdown. Dalvin Cook was a no-show, no-show, 78 yards on the ground. Thielen, he had 6 for 78 and a touchdown. Jefferson, another one, was a no-show. He had 2 for 20-something. In the way. Minnesota is now 3-4. Dallas, they are 6-1. Monday night tonight, people. Who do you got? You have the Giants. Do you got Kansas City? I know everybody, Mahomes was sold to us, I would say, right? Everybody probably got Kansas City, I'm just saying. But before we end, I said remember Melvin Ingram. Just a couple years ago, Melvin Ingram may have been top 5 running back in the league. Gurley was top 5 running back in the league. Ty Gurley. Le'Veon Bell as well. Who is the biggest disappointment out of Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon. Please drop a comment. Let us know. Who's your top 5 teams after 8 weeks? Who's the top 5 teams in the league after 8 weeks, people? Let us know. Again, I thank everybody for tuning in to the Week 8 recap on this early morning. I'm actually running out of tea, so I'm going to go re-up on some tea. I'm actually a coffee drinker, but I've been yelling at the TV all day yesterday, so, I had to get the tea. Anyway, I would like to shout everybody out, especially the UK. Shout out the UK because they still been showing love heavy. They even starting to send requests on shows. Any requests you got also, people, let us know. You can let us know in the DM. You can let us know in the comments. Make sure you check our YouTube page out. Make sure you check our Twitter page out. Subscribe to all, and just tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell everybody. Keep it a C note. I'm your boy Brown. I holla at y'all. 7-1, baby.
Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da 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 da.
Next up.